Welcome into training camp live here at Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California. It's the second joint practice between the Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. Nick Harris here alongside Bryan Broaddus, and we're going to take a look at some offensive line, defensive line one-on-ones. We've already had some intensity starting to ramp up. Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton exchanging some words with Jared Verse, and so it's getting a little chippy here on the one side, but maybe that's what you'd like to see on this side of the field, right?
Yeah, you know what, if you look at the two periods that we've had before this, the move the ball periods and stuff, the guys like Verse and others have had really some good success against the Dallas ones. So, it wasn't one of the best periods. So now here you have a little bit of an opportunity to kind of make amends for some of the things that went on that other field.
And now you're starting to see a little bit of the second unit mixed in with the first unit. Cooper Beebe is in at center. You can make the argument he's with the first or second, just kind of depending on where you want to see things are at this time in the preseason. But Mike McCarthy said earlier in the week that he's going to be ramping up some time with the ones this week, as he'll get a rep right here in the middle of that offensive line. Lost that rep, but he has looked good in this practice so far.
He has, and he did actually get the first rep when they went to the move the ball period over on the other field when they started practice here today. So he and Hoffman both have kind of been switching back and forth a little bit, but really good rep right there with his ability to extend, keep his feet moving, stay with a good base right there, and extend. Those are the things you want with an offensive lineman.
And it's Corey Durden that Cooper Beebe was getting some reps against. Now you see at left guard here. Missing some numbers on the Rams roster. It's that time of the year where there's a lot of different guys being added and subtracted from the roster as injuries and certain things do happen. But
yeah. But sometimes you get the updated rosters and other times you don't. So I was a little no help to you on that one there, partner. Sorry about that.
No problem at all.
Yeah, good job by Bostic right there.
Yeah, you see Earl Bostic. He got a lot of work in that game on Sunday against the Rams, with Chuma Edoga going out with an injury. Tyler Guyton only worked for a few series, and then it was mostly Earl Bostic and Awesome Richards out there at left tackle getting the majority of the work.
Yeah.
Back-to-back really great reps. Stonewall there for Earl Bostic, the second-year undrafted free agent out of Kansas.
Yeah, and that's Anthony Goodlow was rushing him right there, and Goodlow really didn't able to get the edge on him at all. Good job by Bostic of kicking wide to it, getting the punch inside, hands inside, and then being able to kind of stonewall his ability to get to the quarterback.
You see 56 there, Cooper Beebe, with his back facing us. A really big opportunity for him in these last couple of weeks at camp. Only about roughly a week left in Oxnard, but they will go back to Frisco for a series of other practices. How big is it for Cooper Beebe to be able to stack confidence going?
Yeah, it will be huge. And we talk about always, Nick, the learning curve. And, how steep will the learning curve be? You saw a little bit of example, maybe that today. With that team period on the other field, though, some of the left tackle stuff was kind of a little bit of a rough go for Guyton. But Beebe looks like he's holding his own here right now, and that's a good thing.
All right, here we go.
Here we go into team drills. The Cowboys defense going up against the Rams offense. You see Trayvon Diggs on the field. These are his first team reps since week 2 of last season, as he's continuing to recover from that torn ACL, going towards Diggs' way, but it was intended for Cooper Kupp and just pushed a little far wide. That was Jimmy Garoppolo there on the pass, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, then you really, you saw a little bit with Diggs, and he's going to pedal, then he's going to settle, and then he's going to find a way to, then have to go vertical with the route. And you mentioned Garoppolo couldn't. He was trying to kind of fit it underneath on the route and just couldn't get it done. But, yeah, as you mentioned, this is good to see Diggs out here getting this kind of work.
As he continues to get more comfortable on the field, more and more team reps. Mike McCarthy said this morning that he's going to continue to get those as Garoppolo goes after Jordan Lewis and is able to find the completion to Demarcus Robinson.
Yeah, Demarcus Robinson, a good receiver. We saw the crossing route right there. For a nickel corner to have to deal with this Ram offense is not any fun, with guys like Robinson and Cooper Kupp and those guys. Heck, Puka Nacua not here, and that would be – so, yeah, Jordan Lewis earning his pay today.
Yeah, and they drafted another guy in Jordan Whittington that was a slot demon out of the University of Texas, and they have him on the field. They're going to go the other way, though, to Cooper Kupp, and that's a completion there on Trayvon Diggs for a minimal gain. Cooper Kupp being their wide receiver one that they'll use out here quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nick, as we all know, Cooper Kupp will play at all levels of the defense. You can see him on the move. That's what makes him so hard. It's almost like trying to guard Steph Curry in basketball. He's always on the move. He never stops. He's really never a stationary player, and Diggs getting the opportunity there on him.
Here's Garoppolo now under center.
There's the movement.
It's going to be a handoff to the left side. That's to Blake Corum, the rookie out of the University of Michigan. Didn't get to see a whole lot of him in the preseason game, but we've seen him in these two joint practices quite a bit.
Yeah, you sure have. You know, they've kind of put their rookies in some bubble wrap a little bit, but nice job by Leufau, the linebacker. You know, that time he was able to he read that Corum, the way, the path, the route that he was taking, and the next thing you know, he's to the outside there. So it had been in good position to make that play.
Here's another rep here for Jimmy Garoppolo in the shotgun with Corum in the backfield with him. He motions Cooper Kupp over to the left side. Jordan Lewis, he's going to attack the run game, trying to get after Blake Corum. And DeMarcus Lawrence, he got in there in a hurry.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of big run stops so far here today.
Good job. That was a little bit, the Rams are going to try and do a little pull in there, so that's going to be down, and around. Cowboys did a great job. They were in that kind of that double A gap look and able to step up and make the play right there and kind of stop the run. Got to play square, you know, guys like Mozzie Smith and others, you know, at the defensive tackle spot. That's really a huge task for them with him and Oso Digizua inside.
You see Mozzie Smith here on the field. Had a good game on Sunday and the limited reps that he was able to grab in the preseason opener. We'll see how much he gets against the Raiders this upcoming Saturday. But here's Garoppolo back to pass. He ducks Micah Parsons, and he's looking over the middle. That's incomplete. That was Jordan Lewis in coverage, but Micah Parsons got there in a hurry. Yeah,
that Micah Parsons, he just shot the B gap right there, and then the back, I think it was Blake Corum, as you mentioned, trying to pick him up. And that really wasn't a very good matchup there for the Rams. Garoppolo kind of trying to stand his ground. I think that might have been a sack. I think Micah was found a way to kind of play off that and not hit Garoppolo.
Now Stetson Bennett on the field after throwing 4 interceptions to the Cowboys defense on Sunday afternoon, but still coming away with the win. So maybe the Cowboys defense looking to get a little revenge from that final drive in that game on Sunday. This is a good handoff here. That's Boston Scott. He got quite a bit of action in that game on Sunday as well.
Yeah, Boston Scott, the veteran, you know, he's come in. He's a veteran, as we mentioned, like I say, a veteran guy. He catches the ball well. You hand it to him. He kind of bounces around inside with the way he plays. And that time he tried to hit it off the left side and then kind of took it all the way back to the right. Cowboys were right there for him.
Yeah, rookie center Bo Limmer out of Tyler, Texas, right there in the middle. Stetson Bennett under center. It's going to be a handoff here again to Scott. You see the linebacking core stepping up, and also Israel Mukuamu, as he's back on the practice field today, been battling a hamstring through these last 2 weeks of camp, but able to get some reps in before the Raiders game this Saturday. Would have to assume that he's going to have a big opportunity in front of him to maybe earn a spot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, though. They've got to kind of figure out some things with this secondary. You know, they're moving some guys around. They just recently made a trade. You know, Nashon Wright no longer here, so guys kind of getting looks at different spots.
This is an end around to Jordan Whittington, and Whittington trying to find some room. He had a big game on Sunday in his preseason debut as the Texas product gets around the edge.
Yeah, he is when you watch the tape of him play, man, the routes were really, really good. And then even the contested plays that he had to make, there were some really good receptions on his part. So, boy, in that end around, man, that thing happens fast. That's what Sean McVay does. He tries to take your eyes away, and he could do it with receivers running like that.
The native of Cuero, Texas, here back in the offensive set as Stetson Bennett puts a receiver in motion. It's a play action going over to the right side to Drake Stoops, the University of Oklahoma product, and he's brought down rather quickly by Israel Mukuamu, who's able to get over there.
Yeah, good job by Izzy getting over and making the play there. You mentioned Stoops is going to start in motion going right to left and then wheel back coming the other way as the flow goes away from that. But good job by Mukuamu being in position to make that play.
And you should have caught me, Brian. I said University of Oklahoma. The Sooners out there, I know, Oklahoma University. My bad. They love that. They love to
Welcome
be sure
to the
SEC,
me. Guys.
Welcome to the SEC indeed. As here's Stetson Bennett once again here under center. Or excuse me, this is Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's going to look over the middle of the field, and there's Eric Kendricks right there to be able to account for DeMarcus Robinson across the middle of the field.
Yeah,
Jimmy G there on the play action.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Nick. Good job though by you get some push there from inside with Osa being able to make some things happen there. Kind of forces Garoppolo to have to slide to his right and try and throw the ball underneath. But the Cowboys looked like they were in pretty darn good shape there with what they were doing.
And Trayvon Diggs back out on the field as well, on the far side of the field, covering DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, let's take a peek at him right there. I think it's always good to see the young man who's had a good start to his career.
It's a handoff to the left side. That's to Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams trying to find some room. It was a really good job by the Rams offensive line and boundary group to be able to create some room.
Yeah, that's, and the Cowboys, when they've had problems, it has been off that right side. They just have not got that, they're looking for that right edge. And really that's why that you look at how, with the draft and the way they kind of try to address it a little bit there, they've got to get better at that spot over there. They just can't give up that much space there.
See Donovan Wilson and Trayvon Diggs now on that side of the field. This is a handoff up the middle to Kyron Williams. He was able to squeak through. Did you see anything there, Brian? There was a lot of bodies in my
and it's funny because, like you say, it's Oso Digizua inside, and it's Amazi Smith. And the one thing that I was watching in practice before we came out here was that Jeff Zagina, the defensive line coach, working with Mazi on those hands, trying to do a better job of controlling the blockers. It looked like inside right there, they just didn't get it.
So here's Garoppolo again, a handoff to Blake Corum. Corum trying to make some guys miss, but you see Deron Bland, Donovan Wilson, Eric Kendricks, they all swarm Williams there in the backfield.
Yeah, a little bit different when they run the ball going to the left there, to what would be their offensive right, and you get with Tank Lawrence there. Tank is so good at playing with his hands and keeping his outside shoulder free that once he's keeping that shoulder free and then the ball comes his direction, he's able to squeeze that thing down and make the play. When the ball went to the other side, it was a little bit more of an opening for the Rams there, the way they ran it.
Now Jimmy Garoppolo still in the shotgun here, getting some work.
Yeah, kneeling over at the right end here. Let's see, if they come that way. A lot of movement going on here.
You also see Maris Luafau right there in the middle.
There we go.
Trying to account for Blake Corum. And Maris Luafau has had a pretty strong camp in his own right. Would have to expect he gets a bit of an uptick in reps compared to what he got in the preseason opener. Would have to imagine he gets a little bit more work in the second week.
Yeah, I would think so too, and I was kind of hopeful about it. They had, I think there was when the linebackers, if you really watched the game and had a chance to break it down, there was a couple of times where you felt like that they were guessing a little bit, and he just needs to see these things. He's got really good instincts for a player, smart player too. Just got to figure out where he needs to fit. There we go, right there.
Yeah, play action, and Garoppolo was looking downfield, but he dumped it off low.
Yep.
It looked like Marshawn Nealon was right there to be able to account for it.
Yeah, that's, Marshawn Nealon, that's, his ability to play the run is, I think, what's got him drafted. But he's developed into, he's got some pass rush skills. Coming off the football, there's some quickness to his game. Let's see about the bend, and, they'll work on that with him. But they will find ways to make sure that he gets a steady diet of both.
High praise, but Micah Parsons compared him to a young Cam Jordan yesterday.
How about that? Yeah, Cam Jordan, pretty damn good player in this league for a long time.
As here's Stetson Bennett back on the field now here, and he hands off to the left side. Looks like to Boston Scott once again. Or that is to Ronnie Rivers.
Ronnie Rivers, yeah. Yeah, but sometimes those jerseys will pinch up on you.
Tough out here.
You got a 30 and a 20, and those jerseys start to pinch. You could get in a little trouble out here.
We're starting to see some of the depth units now. You look at Julius Wood, number 33, had an interception in the game on Sunday. He's looked really good out here in camp, competing for a practice squad spot. As Stetson Bennett escapes pressure, it looked like that was maybe Willie Harvey Jr. that got around there.
Yeah,
was able to create some pressure.
Yeah, sure did. Mike Zimmer sent the blitz right there. And what we've also noticed too a little bit, Nick, is that this they've taken they've taken Fehoko and playing him more as an edge. You know, we could see here that number 93 was a defensive tackle really for the majority of this camp, and now they've like said, no, we've got to play you at edge. That seems to be the natural position for him.
And Mike Zimmer said yesterday in his press availability that Chauncey Golston and Viliami Fehoko, both of those guys will be seeing a lot more work on the outside moving forward. That's a really good pass there from Stetson Bennett, being able to come across the middle and find Tutu Atwell. When the Rams receiving corps had some problems with injuries last year, Atwell was a guy that stepped up and was able to provide.
Yeah, that was, it came in Hall 43 on the cross right there, and he's been playing a lot of slot. And so, yeah, when you mention Atwell, he's a tough coverage just because of the fact that he's got so much quickness to his game, and when you put him on the move, he can be tough to deal with.
Here's Bennett once again, this time with Zach Evans in the backfield, the product of Houston, Texas. And it's a handoff to Evans over to the left side, and there's Brock Mogensen for the tackle right there. He was another one of those guys that had one of the 4 interceptions yesterday. Up next, we'll take a look at red zone work, the Cowboys offense, when we come back.
Well, red zone period here going on, huh?
Yeah, Dak Prescott here in the first team offense, trying to find some momentum here in the red zone. Didn't have a whole lot of momentum with the second and third teams on Sunday, but we'll get an opportunity to see the starters inside the 20s.
Yeah, this is where you're absolutely right. This is where they had a little bit of the struggles in the preseason game on Sunday. But yeah, let's see. With the starters, you always kind of get they've had some when it's been Cowboys working against Cowboys. They've had some success in the red zone with some of their practices.
You see Cooper Beebe in the middle here at center going up against the rookie defensive tackle out of Florida State, Braden Fisk, as Dak Prescott's rolling to the right trying to find a guy.
Yeah.
Was looking for Jalen Brooks but couldn't find him. Good coverage there downfield by the Rams secondary.
I'll tell you what, maybe he flashed in front of you, but Brandon Cooks was running on the back line here and then tried to work back to Prescott. He's breaking to his right and then went back to his left to try and present himself as a little bit better target. Dak tried to throw the ball to Brooks on the outside as he was outside the pocket.
You see Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton here on the first team offensive line getting some really good work here in this red zone portion. So now it's Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield with Prescott. He'll hand it off to Elliott, and it's a very minimal game there in the middle as Kobe Turner, the second-year man out of Wake Forest, was able to get in the middle and bring up the tackle.
Yeah, that's a good job. And you've talked about Turner. They think the world of him. In watching the game, they did a little sideline interview with him, and I didn't realize how many sacks he had. What a good player he was, for the Rams last year, filling in, and now, being a starter for them.
So now it's Malik Davis in the backfield with Dak Prescott. He motions out Luke Schoonmaker. Dak's going to look to his right. He's looking for somebody open. He's trying to force it inside to Kevontae Turpin, and that's knocked away. Really good play there from Cameron Curl.
Yeah, Cam Curl was a former Washington Commander. If you remember him as a safety and all that. Really nice job of carrying the route. Dak tried to get it out to the outside there, but Cam Curl was in really, really good position to make the play.
It's now the second team offense here on the field. Getting an opportunity to see Dakota Shepley at center. Also TJ Bass at right guard.
See if we can find a way to get the ball to John Stevens in there. There it is, right there inside.
Yeah,
kind of had a feeling.
Good call there, Brian. John Stevens Jr. Trying to find some momentum as camp goes on. Really good find there from Cooper Rush for a minimal gain.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of felt like that he was going to try and run more of a vertical route the way they were spaced. I thought, well, okay, here you're going to have a shot to hit 81 going up the seam, but yeah, Cooper had to kind of get rid of the ball in a little bit of a hurry.
So now it's Snoop Connor in the backfield. Cooper Rush under center. See Ryan Flanoy in the receiving corps on the field. Princeton Fant also as an offset blocker as it's an inside run to Snoop Connor. Connor trying to find some room there in the middle. Couldn't quite find it as now we have a little bit of pushing and shoving going on after the snap.
Yeah, Span Ford thought he got wronged on the outside there. He was trying to get his block and then got knocked to the ground a little bit, and then just afterwards felt like that he got wronged on the play. So,
and Span Ford, he's a mild-mannered guy, but he's gotten in the middle of a couple of skirmishes
couple different fights. You're right about that. Well, the ones are back in there now.
First team unit, you see Dak Prescott. He's going to hand off to Ezekiel Elliott. Good cut back there from Zeke, but then Braden Fisk was all over him.
Yeah, that was it. You'll see inside as the ball went to the middle of the offense there. That was BB having to try and work. He had head up nose. He had to try and wall off, and Zeke made the cut behind the block. Tough sledding down here when you get this tight red zone and trying to run the football.
Receivers split out. Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, Kavontae Turpin, and Brandon Cooks. As Dak Prescott's looking to his left, looking to the right, trying to find Cooks, and Cooks drops it. He had it in his hands. It was good coverage there from Quentin Lake, but Cooks definitely should have came up with that one.
You know what, and I think the way that, with Cooks, he was probably grateful that Curl didn't, try and lay him out. That could have been one of those. I think if we were playing football for real, that might have been Curl taking a run at him and seeing if he could have knocked that ball loose. But, man, the ball did hit his hands, so there was an opportunity.
Now Hunter Lipke in the backfield with Dak Prescott. Dak looking to the left side. Now he's going to step up in the pocket.
Yeah, that's
Jared
steal.
First got around quick.
Yeah.
Another rookie out of Florida State that the Rams are utilizing on this defensive line.
I'll tell you what, man, he has been really good in this practice. As a matter of fact, the early part of it, I was over here watching, and Guyton had some problems with him, and now we just had Steele having some problems with. Man, this kid has got some ability to attack that edge and flatten it in a hurry.
You see how big he is, that size
Amazing
that comes around
how
that edge.
how long he is.
So here's Dak once again. He's looking to the left
Little
side.
twist on inside. They got it. They picked it up.
He's trying to scramble and find some room, and he fits it in to Brandon Cooks. Cooks was able to get loose and extend the play.
Yeah.
And you see that connection between Dak Prescott and Brandon Cooks after the play, off script. And that's what you love to see as time goes on here at camp.
Well, good job by Dak of throwing to his left. And, the pocket kind of collapsed on him. He felt like he had to get to the outside. As we mentioned, Cooks is going to keep running. He is going to find space. Smaller guy, as we all know, but when he can work that back line, he can buy himself some time.
And now here's Trey Lance and Deuce Vaughn making his return to practice today. It's going to be a handoff to Vaughn. He's looking for some room. He bounces it to the left side.
That was a nice play.
Yeah, really good job there from Deuce. He maybe did have an opening.
I thought he had an opening too.
He was still able to find some room.
I thought he was just going to carry this thing off that right side here, but he didn't do it. He just kind of weaved his way back to the left and was able to duck down there. It looks like the Ram defenders lost him a little bit there.
Yeah, if Deuce is ducking, you might lose him.
Yeah, you might lose him.
Trey Lance now back, and Royce Freeman also making his return to practice today from a groin injury he suffered last week. It's play action. Trey Lance looking to the left side, and he's got Tyron Billy Johnson for the touchdown. Good job there from 13 to be able to lay out and grab it.
Yeah, that fake wasn't really great, but it did enough to kind of buy him an opportunity. Trey was quick to it. And Trey's had some problems down in the red zone. That was good to see him, get the team in position there and finish off the drive the way he did.
Now the ones back out with Brock Hoffman at center and TJ Bass at right guard. It's going to be a handoff to the right side. That was to Kavontae Turpin.
How about that? In the backfield there.
Saw that a little bit last year. He averaged over 10 yards per carry last season whenever he was asked to take some of the brunt of the running game. Just getting the ball in his hands, that's got to be a big emphasis in this offensive system.
Yeah, anything to do to get him going with this offense is going to be, and it's funny, a guy that small, you got two guys, him and Cooks, kind of shorter guys, but really good little red zone players. Oh, fumbled snap right there.
Looked like there was some miscommunication between Dak Prescott and Hunter Lipke.
Yeah, we saw that in Miami that one time.
I was just about to bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up.
Nobody wanted to bring that. Now here comes Ezekiel back in the game. Maybe trying to get a little cute there. Hey, if we could, Nick, let's focus a little bit on with Guyton in there at left tackle, if we could. Number 60, the left tackle. Let's see how he plays on this. They're down there on about the 3-yard line. He's had some good reps, in the game as a run blocker. Oh, he's going to get the cutoff block inside.
And there's another
fumbled again.
Another fumble on the handoff between Dak and Zeke. Got to be able to clean that up before regular season rolls around. That's back-to-back plays now where the ball hits the turf.
I'll tell you what, man, that is a good way to lose a football game right there. You're driving, and all of a sudden you put the ball on the ground inside the 5-yard line. We've seen that happen before here. So got Luke Schoonmaker in here at tight end, number 86. Kind of, there's thoughts about him. Where been injured. Can he get going to have a good continue camp?
Yeah, there's Dak Prescott being able to find Kavontae Turpin. Turpin was able to get close to the end zone, but as they have these markers up.
Yeah.
And Deuce Vaughn now checking back into the game with this first team unit.
Yeah, it's kind of if you look at that huddle, man, there are some short dudes in this huddle right now. With Turpin and Deuce. And
see Earl Bostic is checked in at left tackle.
Yep.
Here's Dak in the backfield. Deuce Vaughn even picking up some pass protection there. Now Dak Prescott trying to find a man in the back of the end zone, and he found Kavontae Turpin for the touchdown.
Really good job by Deuce Vaughn of the blitz pickup, the way it was happening. Things were getting really muddy and dirty right up the middle, and Deuce did a good job of stepping up right there. He's getting the high fives from all his teammates for some of that pickup. So looks like we're done for this.
Yeah, this red zone portion here at Training Camp Live, the second Rams and Cowboys joint practice. We appreciate you joining us here in Oxnard, California for Training Camp Live. We still have another week of training camp out here and a game this Saturday against the Las Vegas Raiders. Be sure and stay tuned to DallasCowboys.com. For Bryan Broaddus, I'm Nick Harris.